Hi guys, it's the Forgetful Skull. Let's chat about books. Or a book. A book. But hey, look, I finished my TBR shelf. Woo! It only took me 12 months. And you know what? That's really good for me. So, and also, yes, I couldn't find. Last week, Brandy Reed gave me an amazing suggestion to find a Santa hat and put him on this little guy. And like, I know I have a Santa hat. I know I do. I can't find it, but I know I do. And the moment I go out to the store, I'm going to find the freaking Santa hat because it's going to be in the middle of the living room right in front of my face for whatever reason. And it's going to drive me nuts. So at this point, I know it's such a weird thing to like stick to, but my stubbornness is like, no, I will find that Santa hat in the cornucopia of cardboard boxes I have downstairs in my garage, and I'm going to put it on his head. I'm going to do it. It'll probably end up like in spring, but I'm going to do it. The things I decide to fix on have no real world value whatsoever. But here we go. So the last book of my TBR shelf and for the year is Devil in Disguise, The Ravenals Meet the Wallflowers, Lisa Kleypas. So I'm kind of... The Ravenals meet the Wallflowers. Really? Do they? Because it just seems like off story or off camera. You know, Marriott, their the second Wallflower couple's oldest daughter, just so happened to be friends with a couple of the people from the Ravenel stories. And that's kind of it. Like, she's best friends with Phoebe, which makes sense because that's her Uncle Sebastian St. Vincent, Evie's husband from the Wallflower books. Their daughter, so they grew up together. She just so happens to be friends with Garrett, the female doctor. So like, so Ransom, her husband, kind of is involved with the mystery that goes on in this book, but that's kind of it. Like, I was just like, I don't know if that subtitle is earned. So this book, you know, I had a hard time figuring out what stars I'm going to give it. It is FM historical, by the way. And there's a bit of a mystery going on, you know. Now, it was odd because Marriott loved her personality. You know, she's in charge of her deceased husband's shipping company. She is the boss, but she's also still a sweetheart. And she very much is an older sibling to 5 younger siblings. I think that's the number. Because she's very much like the peacekeeper and very much like bossy, you know? So this book, to me, it's a wee little boss. Wee little bully. Yeah, wee little bully. Because that's what the male lead, Care, calls her. And I thought that was just so cute because... yeah, she is a bully, but she's not like mean or like being horrible. She's just like, well, no, you must be hungry. Let's get you food. Oh, I wouldn't hear of it. Really, let's go get food. Oh, but this food's so great. Like she bosses people around, but with the best intentions, you know? So I really liked her character, and I really liked Care's character. It's Air with a K. Care's character. He was this big Scotsman. And, you know, he was kind of adorable. Like, he was afraid of getting a shot until he found out the person that invented the numbing shot was also a Scotsman. And then he was fine with it. Like, there's just moments where I found him very cute, very adorable, like a big teddy bear. The mystery was interesting. But, like, this is a romance novel first and foremost, right? So, the romance between the two... I found boring. I know. I did. Like, I found myself almost having to stop myself from a speed reading to get to the rest of the mystery. And the mystery wasn't that intense either. So I think this is a 3 stars because I kind of kept reading it just because the main character's adorableness, and I wanted to see the resolution to what was going on, which was a little disappointing. But the romance between the 2 adorable characters didn't interest me. and the mystery barely kept my attention. I know, I'm disappointing too. What the F, Lisa Kleypas? There's gonna be spoilers, because I think this also is like a recent release too, as well, right? This is one of the newer ones, I think. Yeah, it's just last year. So it's one of the newer ones, so I'm gonna do spoiler alerts on the bottom and everything like that. Basically, from chapter 3, I figured out that Care was Sebastian St. Vincent's bastard son, because, like, even in his own romance, he made no bones about that he was, like, a manslut. You know, fine, do you, whatever. So it was pretty, like, oh, okay. Why someone was trying to kill him, that was a little bit more interesting. I love the fact that Sebastian was like, I would never cheat on Evie. This happened before Evie. And I love how Evie was just like, oh, you're part of my family. I love you. Because Evie's the best, you know. You do find out that Care's adopted. So, okay. You know, I mean, it wasn't... The only thing that was like, ooh, why are someone trying to kill him? That was a little interesting. I'm not going to go into that. But what really bugged me was, once again, the interesting mystery part was left off the page. We just sort of got like, oh yeah, the bad guy was found dead. Dun 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 dun. Like, I'm like, no! I want a confrontation! I am bloodthirsty! Bloodthirsty! I want a confrontation! I want them to look the guy in the eye and be like, F you! You know what I mean? But no, it was sort of handled off page. Again! She does this. This author does this quite a bit. And I'm like, ugh. There are parts where, like, Mary, it's like, listens to her mother's advice and be like, be fierce. And I thought that was so cute. And I thought that she's a great character. And he was a great character. It's just, it was like love at first sight. And guys, you know, I'm not a big fan of love at first sight. Attraction at first sight? Sure. And then have things kind of story points slow you guys down so you get to know each other? Absolutely. I'm here for that. You know what I mean? I'm not here for like, oh, they instantly fell in love. Because, like, I think in the first 100 chapters, they spent a night together. You know what I mean? And then he has amnesia. But, like, it's like all this stuff. And I was like, yes, this is a romance novel. But this is not a daytime TV novella that my grandma loves, where it's like, you know what I mean, over the top ridiculous. He's an evil twin. Then there's memory loss, and then this and that. Like, it felt like a lot of stuff was thrown against the wall, and the writer didn't stick to any of these kind of story points. If they stuck to them, I'll be like, okay, you know what? That's a little cliche, but it's cute enough. It's fine. It's fine, let's do this. But, like, it's sort of backpedaled on so many things, and I'm like, pick a lane, pick a trope, and double down. Let's go. Let's go. It just really bugged me that the resolution was off page. I was like, seriously, you're making this very interesting... Oh, I hurt my legs. You're making this super interesting second storyline, mystery, and why someone's trying to kill him, and then the resolution with the bad guy is off the fucking page. Why would you do that? I can't be the only bloodthirsty one out there. Come on. So that was like, ugh. So honestly, I think the 3 stars is just nostalgia. Like, I like the 2 main characters, they're cute. Didn't give a crap about the romance because they like boinked in the first 100 pages, so okay. And apparently that was like a magical night because they're both deeply in love, even though their personalities and what they like the most are vastly different. You know what I mean? And I think the writer knew that, because this writer does a good job of like finding similarity points to grow the couplings. You know what I mean? Because Care's, biological father, Sebastian, was even like, oh, just because they don't have interests in common, they have morals in common. It's fine. It's like, hey, reader, don't worry about it. I didn't really think about that point when I was writing it. So let's just forget about it. That's what it kind of felt like. Because she's a city girl. She loves the city. She loves being in charge of her business. He's a country boy. He loves his distillery in Scotland. He loves fishing. He loves hunting. He loves the quiet life. Those two do not mesh. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the book, she, like, I'll say the beginning of the third act, she's like, oh, I'm tired of doing the business, but I can't go back to being, London society lady either. So I'm going to give the business to my younger brother and travel the world. And I was like, when in this book, in the last 300 pages, because I think this is close to the end of the book, it's like 360 pages or something. When have you ever mentioned traveling the world and seeing things? Like at all. There's like one conversation when he's talking about his island in Scotland. And you're like, oh, that sounds really pretty. I might want to visit. And that was it. That was it. That was it. Like, I mean, if I was a wealthy widow, hell yeah, I would travel the world. Hell yeah. But that's because I've always wanted to see the pyramids. I've always wanted to travel the world and see these amazing natural wonders and man-made wonders. But I've always wanted to do that. It wasn't just one random conversation and then I decided to like change my whole life, because before that she loved running the business. And I'm just like I was just left with the feeling that perhaps Lisa Kleypas did not plan this book out as meticulously as she seemed to, or they seemed to plan out other books. You know what I mean? Like maybe they were rushed. Maybe they wanted to do a lot in this book. And that's why it's so filled with kind of beginning storylines that kind of drop off without, well, not storylines, but tropes that kind of drop off because they wanted to do so much in this book. I'd say this book would have been, it's not a bad book, but I think it would have been I think it does the couple a little bit of a disservice. And I think maybe another run through before you publish it, like just reading it again before you publish it, might have been a good idea, because it just felt, I don't know, it just wasn't up to the usual standard I've gotten to know Lisa Kleypas by. So I was like, because usually with Lisa Kleypas, the beginning, I'm sort of interested. The couples seem cute enough. I'm going to keep reading. A little boring, but I'm going to keep reading. The middle of the book, I hate everyone involved. The end of the book, I love everybody involved. But this book did not elicit the myriad of those emotions. I was like, oh, cute couple. Everything else a little boring. Ooh, explosion. Interesting. Romance still boring. Romance still boring. Romance still boring. Oh, great. Off the page. Conclusion off the page. Fuck you. And they really did cut their own tension, because like he had to jump out of a burning building because of an explosion. And then boom, he set off to the Essex estate for 200 pages. Like the majority of the book, where everyone seems very, like the tone of it was off because someone's trying to kill him. Sebastian just found, the bastard son he's been looking for like a year. It was just a weird kind of holding pattern for those like 150, 200 pages. It was just very odd. And like the feel of it wasn't like someone's trying to kill him. Every once in a while they would put that in, and he was healing, yes. And I think this was the point where the author wanted those two to marry it and care. Wow. Sorry, guys. Care to have a deeper connection. I understand that, but it just felt like sometimes the vibe was like going about everyday life and like, oh yeah, someone's trying to kill him. Like it just kind of like a almost forgetful air that someone was trying to kill him. So that was a little strange. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little strange. I don't know. I don't know if this author has done a lot of kind of mysteries. Because so far in the books I've read, not so much. So maybe that's where the disconnect was. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have to say, like, I didn't hate it. There are other books I didn't enjoy a lot more. There are points that I enjoyed. The two main characters, freaking adorable. And I loved how Marriott could be a boss and be a really strong woman and absolutely still be a sweetheart. Because bitch does not equal boss, okay? Okay. All right. And just to let you guys know that the last week of December, I'm not going to post any videos because if Thanksgiving was a dry run, this holiday season is going to be batshit crazy. And and doing that and trying to get out a book review video and a Sims build video is just going to be more stress on top of everything, and I really want to decrease stress, not add. So I'm gonna take the end of December week off, and I'll be back for the new year. So have a wonderful holiday, whether you celebrate Christmas or Yule or Hanukkah or anything else that I've forgotten, because I forget every freaking thing in the world. I don't want to, but it's time for me to get back to the real world. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.